Social marketing is what people are doing and what companies, big companies and small companies are doing to promote something like this right here. This in front of me, I've been helping them. They're a company out of Moncton, New Brunswick. And before we did some social media with them, they hadn't really sold any of the G-Can, which is a refueling station, which just you pedal down. It has a nozzle with a shutoff on it. The gentleman who that developed this spent $7 million. $7 million in technology just on a shutoff on it. So the whole idea, you don't have to lift it, it's great for water and things like that. They were promoting it, and so all I did on social media was, you want to see a $7 million gas can? And all of a sudden people started talking, started pushing it around. One day we sold 500. Pretty amazing. But that's when you start to develop some different types of following and different things to do. So types of social media. There is social media for anybody out there. Anybody here? Well, first off, just before I even get the types of social media, who here has a phone and or a device just like this, a smart book, that they either go online with or they do email with and interact with? So, no, you know what? Just please stand up. Just please stand up. Just, you know, this is the way to exit. You know, the other thing, we've been up since 9:30 this morning. Right? So I would say 60% of the room. Right? So just to let you know, 60% right now in the world of social media with one of these different applications of social media, I can interact with any of you in this room right now. I can send out a message. You guys could see that message. You could choose to comment on that message or choose to explore that message. And explore that message is, what is a $7 million gas can? So they go onto the link, it goes into a whole little explanation on what this is, and they decide whether they want it for themselves or not. The big ones are, of course, are Facebook and Twitter. Those are the big ones. But there's LinkedIn as well. I call Facebook kind of like a yearbook. That's the way to describe Facebook. Facebook's like that yearbook in high school where you can see pictures. It's kind of like Snap magazine, the Snap photos that you see in a lot of the different communities that are right now. I see Twitter as kind of almost a little bit like gossip. I see LinkedIn as business contacts. Instagram's photo sharing. And Pinterest basically is, I like this. You go around, it's like, it's scrapbooking. That's Pinterest. Pinterest is scrapbooking. I also want to call Facebook, I think it should be renamed as Bragger. Look at me! I'm in Mexico. Hey, look at my new car. Hey, look at where I was tonight and look at who I met. We've really become into a world of bragging. A self-interested world. It really is. Anybody here going to go away for lunch today? Like leave the convention area for lunch? Just anybody put their hands up? Because I thought I'd tell you that I just tweeted out before just to see what's a good place to go for lunch around here. And I got about 50 different interactions. And I'll tell you the #1 vote right now is Zetz. Which is, they have great food and great prices. But another gentleman here also says that airport food sucks. Okay, but Zetz right now is winning. We'll look at the end to see what's winning. 82% of the world's internet population is over the age of 15. Canadians are the top 10 most users. Now, if you follow the right people on any of your social media, whether it be Facebook and or Twitter, you can find out the weather of the day as soon as you get up by looking at your smartphone. You can be given the alerts of the day to see what anything's happening in terms of the world, what world events are happening. You know, whether the NHL lockout, when that came to a final close, I knew immediately at 5:30 I was actually writing at my computer, writing an article, and all of a sudden on my phone I got an alert that said the NHL lockout had ended. But before, I used to have to wait to either hop into a car, turn on a radio, or I would have to wait to the 6 o'clock news to find out full details for that. But now it's so immediate. And also, what also happened with that NHL lockout, and that's kind of not within our industry, was the reaction to that, was that all of a sudden in the world of social media, people started saying how much they were upset with the NHL. 86% of the people out there said that they would care less whether the NHL played or not. And that's a true testament to the NHL right now to know we got to earn our fans back. Immediately now, people have a voice. Everybody today has a voice to make change. You look at what happened in Egypt politically just in the last few years. Egypt overthrew its government because of social media. You look at what happened here with the G20. Remember all the devastation, and also we came together as an industry to benefit that park and clean up that park in downtown Toronto. Well, the reason why they could mobilize and the reason why they could get around, the police didn't know what the heck they were doing it all on social media. So it's a great way to mobilize a group of good people, like us, or a group of bad people. And that's why I'm kind of going into right now, whether it's a friend or a foe. Because, you know, before it used to just be broadcasters or opinion leaders, you know, somebodies that have a voice. But now anybody in this room has the ability to be a broadcaster, has an ability to have a voice. You know, I honestly think that if we were a better industry in terms of social media, in terms of being together as a power, that during the cosmetic pesticide ban, when that was happening, that if we actually looked at social media, or if it was where social media is today then, we could probably change that cosmetic pesticide ban or the way it kind of works. Social media, the friend. So is it a friend? Right now, just to let you know, I have approximately 30,000 followers on Twitter. I've earned those over the last 3 years. On Facebook, I haven't really utilized Facebook because I've just, you know, there's only so many places you can go. Yesterday, I just did a little bit of some fun to see if I could build some extra Facebook people, and I built 300 just on my fan page. My fan page is up to about 2,000 right now. My personal page of friends is about 1,500. I have a lot of friends. My Italian family is 250 people. It's easy for me, right? How is social media used in business? You know, for us out here that are either designers, landscapers, garden center owners, perhaps nursery growers, greenhouse growers, it gives our business really a voice. The opportunity to have a voice and to interact on any day, right? It can send out their reminders. You can tell people to remind them that in 2 weeks' time, if maybe you're a flower shop owner or you have a flower shop, in 2 weeks' time it's Mother's Day. Simple little things that we can do just to kind of remind people what's going on. You can do that on your own personal pages, right? Where you can have some fun. It helps develop an identity or brand. We've all heard about the world of brand. A magazine that I read often is one called Fast Company. I'll never forget an article that I read about 10 years ago called The Brand Called You. It was about looking at you and what is your brand as a person. So what is your brand as a company? It's about developing that brand and what you stand for. What does your company stand for? Is it for sustainable landscapes? Is it for innovative design? Is it for exceptional and interesting pools? What do you stand for? Who are you? That's what social media can start to help you form out. It spreads messages. It's a great way for an online portfolio. Facebook is a great way to post pictures of your favorite landscapes or landscapes that you have done. A company out of the United States, instead of putting a newspaper ad in and giving away a $10,000 landscape, what they did was they did it on Facebook. They said, we want, and this is what I did yesterday too, just as a little bit of a test. Yesterday I said, I want to find the world's worst indoor gardener. Please post a picture of your deadest plant that you have at home. Right? I got interactions. It went viral, meaning that the way you can look on Facebook is you can either buy ads or you can just let it go and see where it goes. So yesterday afternoon it was 300, I went to 500 people that I went out to, and I went to 32 viral. So I went to 500 people in my group, and then I went to 32 of those people started spreading it out. And then I started getting the photos on. A little landscape company in the United States did the same thing, where they said, we want to give away a $10,000 landscape. Instead of buying $10,000 in advertising, they put it on Facebook. They had a fairly good little amount of people that were there. Share it with your friends. They shared it out, and I think they got over 2,000 different interactions, meaning 2,000 people that were on there, and they gave away a $10,000 thing. These are just different things that we can do. It's an opinion changer. I already talked about the cosmetic pesticide ban. It gives you immediate access to a focus group. I work with Premier Tech, which is CIL, So Green, Nature Mix, all that brand. I was in a meeting where we were trying to figure out where the heck is gardening going. We're at a really interesting time. This stupid thing right here is not only, and this is where I speak out of frustration, this stupid thing right here is not only changing the world of publication, broadcast, and things like that, it's also changing people's habits on their free time, right? Where they used to go tinker in the garden, now they're time wasting with this. And the young people out there all of a sudden would like to have an app to grow a plant. An app's not going to friggin' water your plant. We may evolve that way. So what I did in this meeting was I just basically put, what's your most frustrating thing about gardening? while we're in the meeting. And all of a sudden, I started getting interactions, meaning people started having a voice. So in the meeting, I started saying, you know, Sally, we'll just give it a name, @Sally, says that she hates the weed. Because we're trying to figure with CIL So Green, they're trying to figure, is weeding going to be our core business now that there's a cosmetic pesticide ban? Is it fertilizing? What type of fertilizing? Is it soils? You know, what is it going to be? Immediately, I got a focus group, just like today. I'm trying to figure out where the best place for you guys to go to lunch. I go on there, and I'll tell you at the end, I can tell you who voted for what restaurant. And usually, and I do this often, I'll be in Montreal, I'm not from an area, I'll say, hey, where should I go for dinner tonight? And if I see 5 people recommend one restaurant, I'll go there. If it doesn't taste so good after, I'll tell them online. Right? That's social media. It's a quick, fast, and inexpensive way to advertise. So that's the friend, right? We can use this as a tool to market our business or our industry. I will tell you, I'm doing the award ceremony this evening. I'll be emceeing the award ceremony. On Friday of this week on BT, I'll be showing some of the awards that have been given to promote our industry. And then what I'll do is I'll back it up by putting it on my Facebook page and tweeting it out. So then, those people even that are not engaged on television will start to figure out our industry and how good our industry is. And also, you know, I'm always trying to educate people on how much money they should be spending on their landscape. You know, you spend $1 million on a home, you're like, I'm thinking about spending $10,000 on landscaping.